see the silhouette.
Yeah.
See the silhouette.
Yeah. Very loud song, streaky breast. Yeah. 3 feet down from the top of that left tree. Of the 3 big ones, the left one.
And then on McDavitt, I was leading the caravan, and like often happens, I slammed on the brakes because I almost drove by a great gray owl.
Oh, I see something. Here's something. He's looking at something.
And it was hunting right along the road. We didn't get out of the car, but we all got amazing looks and photos from our cars.
The trunk.
Right by the trunk of the... So go to the next tree to the right.
You see the black-throated
We then
green?
made our way up to Mary Lou's feeders, and she's about the only person in the bog that feeds in the summer. Yeah. And to prevent black bear destruction of the feeders, she brings them in every night. We had a fantastic Songbird Saturday, and yeah, I had help with the field trip with Greg Cleary. Yeah, sharp birder. Clinton took a group, I took a group. Great looks at Blackburnian, golden-winged, Cape May. Yeah, northern water thrush. We also had scope views of a porcupine. And then we went to Mary Lou's because she still has some evening grosbeaks. Only one when we were there, but then I saw on the feeder a weird looking house sparrow. Yep, Eurasian tree sparrow.
Yeah, it's brown.
Oh my gosh.
It's all brown for comparison too.
Yeah, it's definitely different than the others.
That black ear patch. Brownish cap instead of gray.
Yeah, it's brown.
And once again, notice the black ear patch. House sparrows don't have that. And the brown cap, chestnut cap, no gray on top at all. And here you can see maybe the size difference. House sparrows are a chunkier bird, chunkier head with a gray crown. Eurasian tree sparrows have a little finer bill and are smaller bodied.
They've just started expanding now.
I think I heard Laura have something about that.
Later that afternoon, Dale and Cindy Haugen got a photo of not one, but 3 Eurasian tree sparrows at Mary Lou's. Sadly, they did not stick around. First one I've ever seen in Minnesota. This is the first one for the Sax-Zim Bog. They've been kind of expanding from their St. Louis core area where they've been for many decades. There's been more and more records in Minnesota, but this is the first one for the Sax-Zim Bog.
Nancy from St. Cloud, and this is my first time for the Warbler Wednesday anyway. Been to the bog several times, so just want to see as many as I can of anything.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. You got it, babe?
Yep, here goes Sparky's rant again, but the golden-winged warbler, over 50% of the world's population nests in Minnesota, probably closer to 80%. We don't really know. This is the bird that should be our Minnesota state bird, not the common loon. And to help the state along, I mocked up the new license plate. What do you say? Are you with me? Let's contact the governor.
Cedrin putting on a show here.
You see the second? He's right here, right in the tree.
A bit further down the road, we saw a woodpecker that we were positive was a black-backed woodpecker fly across the road. And yeah, with a little encouragement, it came out. And here's a photo by Bill Brooks. Thank you, Bill. Lighting conditions were tough. We were looking into the sun. But yeah, nice male, and we got to watch him drum. So pretty cool.
Bobbing up and down.
Lucky camera people. Choosing things
Yeah,
at the top of the water.
That is a killer look at a pine warbler. Oh my gosh. nest. It's got a dome nest on the ground. Kind of like an old-fashioned clay ovens.
Great-grandpa Bob makes little owls as a living tribute to his great-grandson he never got to know. But one of our board members, Ben Yokel, his family grew up with the dad of Augie, and so they're friends. And Ben and his wife actually funded this boardwalk in honor of their good friends, the Briskies. And we had a beautiful dedication for the family several summers ago when we finished this boardwalk. And the Brisky family was here, and they have a new little son, and it was really quite nice to meet them.
And at the end of each field trip, we do a wrap up. I think on this one we had 15 or so species of warblers of the 20 that nest
Golden
in the
wing,
bog.
black and white, Nashville, common yellow throat, American redstart, Cape May, northern Parula, Blackburnian, chestnut-sided, palm, yellow rump.
It's garbage pickup day! Adopt a highway, Friends of Sax-Zim Bog, County Road 133. Woo! Frogs are really going.
Boreal chorus frogs.
I just showed up. I just zoom in at the end and pick up the completed bags of garbage. Throw them in the van. We adopt this 2-mile stretch along 133 and clean it up twice a year. Yeah, it's too bad we even have to do that, but hey.
What is it?
Is that a tiger beetle?
Oh boy, looks like a winter beetle to me. And first wood tick of the year. Great. Best find today. So it's got to go to Sarah.
Camera lens cover.
600 millimeter. That's an expensive lens.
Someone is missing this lens.
I bet that costs $75 on eBay.
But maybe even a bigger find was Jean finding Lori's cell phone that she dropped while picking up litter.
And we got 16 bags of garbage. Thank you all.
It is morning 1 of the greater Sax-Zim Bog. Big week, big day, Birdathon. And yeah, kind of a unique event where you can really make your own adventure. I'm doing a big sit here at the Nichols Lake Public Landing, and it's been great. Had some species with more points. Yes, you get different points for the rarer the birds, and I've had green heron, wood duck, American bittern. Oh, I've had common loon and belted kingfisher, spotted sandpiper. And you can do a big day, the traditional 24-hour big day, or you can do come up here multiple days and combine them into a big week. We have the non-motorized division, big sit. This is just the first year. We'll do it again next May. I better get back to it. I might be missing some birds here. Wood thrush. It's a good bird in the bog. There's 2. Hermit thrush is, of course, the most common one. And then, just when my big day was really ramping up, my van broke down. And yeah, it's the starter. I stopped right in the middle of the bridge, had to push it over the side. Welcome to Meadowlands, the undiscovered country. My van just broke down and I got about a 45-minute walk into town. But I did get my red-headed woodpecker for the day. Or at least it used to have a red head. Yeah, I stopped right in the middle of the bridge looking for ducks and maybe listening for a tanager. But I did get a day bird while my car wouldn't start. Baltimore Oriole, yeah. But just got a hold of my wife. They were working in the garden with the boys, and so they're gonna come get me. But I still gotta walk to Meadowlands, which is down there somewhere. Because of the detour, it's a long way around on the detour. So, yeah, better keep on trucking. But since Bridget and the boys weren't gonna get there for a few hours, I thought, well, I'll just walk to the Meadowlands sewage ponds. And found these snapping turtles laying eggs, and muskrat Sam and muskrat Susie getting frisky in the sewage ponds. A few days later in my rental car, since my car would not be fixed for over a week, I stopped by Floodwood and got some new birds for the big week. Wood thrush, which is always a good bird in the Sax-Zim Bog. Just love their song. There's been more and more of these guys each year. And a scarlet tanager. And literally, about 5 minutes into the field trip, one of the participants and one of our volunteers, Mary Gabries, spotted a great gray owl along Owl Avenue. Yeah, I didn't see it. I drove right by it. But very cool.
He's preening.
Probably hunting for a nest full of hungry mouths. We all got to enjoy it from a fair distance down the road and saw it plunge, but didn't come up with a vole this time. Both groups got to see it. Yeah, what a way to start the day. We'd end up with 3 great grays on the day.
Move over here. He's moving. Oh, he's really cute.
And check out this kestrel, and look at the size of its prey. That is a meadow vole, and a big meadow vole. That is going to be a good meal. Warbler Wednesday, May 24th, and it is 40-something degrees, low 40s. We're all freezing. Yikes. I was on my way to our Welcome Center work day when, middle of the day, found this burly black bear. I mean, check out his belly. This big boy was a real bruiser, and he was headed right for the Welcome Center. But actually, he was far more interested in just eating grass. Kind of a fun sighting. Tough conditions at 80 degrees, a lot of heat shimmer. Yeah, he never made it to the Welcome Center. This is kind of interesting. It's a black and white warbler singing its dawn song. Very different than its normal weesey, weesey, weesey. And just down the road, ran into this rough grouse who was obviously enjoying a little dust bathing on this very hot day. Lots of birds do this, but more common in the gallinaceous birds. Our chickens at home do it all the time. And what's the purpose? Well, it absorbs excess body oils and, that can mat the feathers. It also helps get rid of mites and lice, smothering them. Good thing to do on this hot day. And while I was out doing the big day, I found this bruiser of a coyote. Something just didn't look right about this critter. It looked like it was half coyote, half timber wolf. And there are such a thing as coy wolves. It's kind of a popular term out east. But I've done some research, and it sounds like many, in fact, probably most or all of our coyotes and wolves are mixed genetics. One study found that coyotes in the east were 64% coyote and like 13% gray wolf, 13% timber wolf, and 10% dog. This thing looked, it was big. But note that it doesn't have as narrow a muzzle as your average coyote. And the eyes, the shape of the eyes looks to me much more like a timber wolf. It also had a wider head and broad face. Here's some photos I've taken over the years of coyotes. Notice the real narrow muzzle, the kind of rounded almond-shaped eyes, often very red on the muzzle. The coloration on the muzzle definitely looks like my coyote, coy wolf, whatever. But the overall look of it just looks more timber wolf. Now here's some timber wolf photos taken over the years. And notice the broad muzzle, wider head, lack of real red on the muzzle. And how the, I count kind of eyebrows. They have kind of that light mark over the eyes. And it's the shape of the eyes, a little different. It's almost like the eyebrows are straight across. I know this is a weird esoteric thing. I don't know. So I'm thinking this is definitely a coyote that has some timber wolf mixed in. Now, timber wolves can often be easily identified by their kind of long legs, lanky gait, loose jointed gait. I only saw this guy for a few seconds when I crossed the road, and I didn't really notice anything there. So, definitely we'd call it a coyote, but it seems to have a higher percentage of wolf in it. Kind of a cool experience. I've got a colony of cliff swallows that are gathering mud from these mud flats along this creek to make their nests. And I've kind of worked my way up slowly, and then I'll shoot from a ways away for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll get a little closer. And they allowed me to get pretty darn close, but fun. They're nesting in a culvert here along County Road 7 near Sax Road. And this is also the last day of the Sax-Zim Bog Big Week event. I'm just kind of cleaning up my big week. I've added alder flycatcher, eastern wood pewee, sharp-tailed grouse. They're still dancing on their lek. I heard them, not saw them. But yeah, distinctive sound. So I'm still going for yellow-bellied flycatcher. I'm gonna get back to shooting here. Arg! Shorebirds was another goal of the day, and 2 semi-palmated plovers kind of came in and they were gonna land, but the killdeer took exception to their much smaller plover cousins and drove them off. So no photos. Yeah, got them for the big week. What's this coming in? I am not going to keep you guys in suspense because I've got the results of the 2023 Greater Sax-Zim Bog Big Week. The big day, well, kind of dominated by the greatest grays with 216 points and 118 species. Dave and Pam Benson, Lori Williams, and Dave Steininger. Yeah, I was back in second place, way back, but a lot of fun. And so it doesn't matter if you win or lose, right? It's all about the fun. And the big week, very close race. Dave Benson, Team Era Vincent, squeaked by Clinton and Christina and Jessica with the House of Merganzo just by a few points. I was third. I'm the Renshaw Solitaire. In the wintergreen non-motorized division, I got to give a shout out to the amateur thonotary, get it, of Josiah, who biked 76 miles through the bog. Wow, fantastic effort. I was the only one who did a big sit, and as you saw, I did it at the Nichols Lake Public Landing. Hope more of you can do that next year. Photothon, nature category, Michelle. Yes, the winner there. And the bird category, Jim Sims, one of our volunteers. Most warbler species, Era Vincent, Dave Benson, racked up 25 species during the big week. That is huge. Most miles birded under their own power. Well, that goes back to Josiah, 76 miles by bike. Rarest birds found, tie between Team Merganzo's American three-toed woodpecker and the Eurasian tree sparrow found by Greatest Grays. Non-bird-wise, Christina's fisher being chased by a family of Canada jays definitely takes the cake. I had that coy wolf, which you saw. Michelle and Tyler got a great photo of a Franklin's ground squirrel, and Jeff and Brent saw 2 snowshoe hares. Thanks to all. Hope you can join us next May for this fantastic event. Superstar bird of the day. You know, I've seen a lot of great gray owls in my time, but 3 in one day and getting to share it with about 20 some people. Yeah, you can't beat that. They're obviously at the height of nesting and probably feeding young, so they are out there catching voles. Superstar mammal of this episode, that coy wolf, part wolf, part coyote. Pretty cool, and just interesting research on that. Or that ginormous boar black bear along Owl Avenue, just near the Welcome Center. That was pretty cool too. Until next time. Keep those feet on a hiking trail. Spring is springing. It's maybe already sprung. And keep your eyes just looking up. There's a lot of warblers coming through yet. Just had blackpolls in Tennessee in the last few days here in late May. All right, take care. We'll see you next time.